Coming up on episode 5 of Timberwolves Weekly, the football team, the volleyball team, and the men's soccer team were all at home last week, so we'll recap all that action. We'll go over all the teams that played on the road as well, and we'll show you this week's Athletes of the Week. Timberwolves Weekly starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 5 of Timberwolves Weekly. I'm Travis McCurdy, your host. I'm coming to you live from Hans Stadium up in the press box. This is my view every Saturday for Northwood football action. The football team was back home last Saturday afternoon after a couple of tough road losses. Northwood returned home to face Wayne State, always one of the best teams in the league. It was going to be a tough battle. Let's check out how the Timberwolves did against the Warriors.
They have, their own turnover rate has been kind of averaged that out. This pitch is going to Carter. Carter to the right side, touchdown, standing up. Andre Carter from 10 out.
Breaks down is when you're covering the sides and secondary.
Three-step drop.
Too much
Zula
time,
looks more pressure, and he's wrapped up again.
What a defensive stand.
North Buns, that's left in the half. Northwood first and goal from the 2 of the Warriors. Schaefer again, this time over the left side. He's in. Touchdown. 2-yard touchdown. Schaefer right over his guard. And it's 13-0 and a cannon fire. Opportunities into her first half. So far, they're 2 for 2. Morris looks. He's got a man. Elsie inside the 10-5. Touchdown. What a job. Timberwolf defense. Let's see. Handoff. Stinson. Ran. Stopped him.
Tripped him up in the backfield.
Phenomenal play by Cody.
Time and made things happen back there.
Morris from the shotgun looks. Nice, strong arm pass.
What a catch!
Wilson. Work right now for these Timberwolves. Morris looks left, goes left.
Got him.
Wilson on the far side. Theron at the 35-30.
He's not going to get him.
25, 10-5, touchdown. Williams.
There it is. Finish, Dale. There's the finish, yeah.
That cannon. Boom. Coach R. Zazula's not comfortable with it either. He's looking to tack on.
There it is.
Pitt. Coming this way. 20-30.
He's got to beat Zazula.
Indeed. Kanan Whitfield.
Huge play. Zazula brings him down.
So the late Wilson touchdown and Whitfield interception clinched the win for Northwood over Wayne State, 31-13. Career days for both Mark Morris and Theron Wilson. Wilson with 136 yards receiving and that touchdown, while Morris had 337 yards and 2 touchdowns. Morris is now 4th in school history in career passing yards. Mike Fisher with 11 tackles and 2 tackles for loss to lead the way for the Northwood defense. One of the most complete all-around games the Timberwolves have played in a really long time. Congrats to Coach Haynes and everyone associated with Northwood football on a great win. Men's soccer has been on a roll lately. They entered the week on a 3-game winning streak and had 2 more home games last week, starting on Friday with a huge game against Tiffin, then on Sunday against Findlay. Let's see how Doug Carter's team did.
Everything's set. Levick with the left foot, and he scores! Keaton Levick converts on the PK, and the Timberwolves take the lead 2-1.
That Levick goal proved to be the game winner. 2-1, Tiffin falls to the Timberwolves. Ofico with his 6th goal this season in the first half gave Northwood the early lead. Then Keaton Levick's goal, his 4th of the year, gave Northwood the win. Evenly played game, Northwood with a narrow advantage in shots, while Tiffin had a narrow advantage in corners. Then on Sunday, the Timberwolves took on Findlay. Northwood got on the board in the 17th minute. That's James DeCosmo finishing off the cross. That put Northwood on top 1-0, his 5th goal of the season. Later on, ball into the area headed on to Mike Ankoviak. His first goal of the year is a blast from the right side. That made the score 2-0. That's the way the game would go to halftime. Second half, all Northwood. Maiwa Ofico will shoot it just off the left post, but he'll track it down and tap it in for his 7th goal of the season. That made the score 3-0. 73rd minute now, Dalton Amez just outside the area, fires it to the corner. His first of the year. That made the score 4-0. 81st minute now, Joseph Dixon will also score his first goal this season, taking it away from the Findlay defender and being the keeper to make the score 5-0 in the 81st minute. 88th minute now, Adam Thomas will cross it in, and James DeCosmo will finish off his sixth goal of the season to round out the scoring. Final score, Northwood defeating Findlay 6-0. DeCosmo with 2 goals, Olafico with his team-leading 7th, and Koviak, Amez, and Dixon each scored their first of the season. As you can see, Northwood dominate shots 27-3 over Findlay. 2 more wins for Doug Carter's team, and they've really been doing well, especially offensively. Northwood is ranked in the top 5 nationally in both goals and points per game. Northwood's played 6 straight home games to start the year, but now Northwood starts a 6-game road trip starting this Friday at Ohio Dominican. So good luck to Doug Carter's team. The volleyball team, after a long road trip of their own, after over 2,000 miles of bus time, finally had their first home games of the season last week, but they weren't easy. Findlay and Hillsdale are 2 of the very best teams in the South Division, and Northwood opened their home to play with the Chargers and the Oilers. Let's see how the Timberwolves did to open conference play. Early in the first set, Taylor Pritchett sets Sydney Graylick with the kill for the Timberwolves. Both Northwood's outsides had monster games. Here's Krista Kramer with a kill in the middle of the first set. Graylick again with a down the middle kill for the Timberwolves, and then once again setting on the outside. Here's Krista Kramer. She ended up near 20 kills on the day. Another swing and a kill for Krista Kramer. She really came out strong in the opening set. This is Colleen Mayer, the freshman, with a big kill for the Timberwolves. Continuing in the first set action, Allison Getty had a career day. Here's one of her 25 kills for the match. There's a swing and a kill for Chelsea Watson. Later on, a solo block for Colleen Mayer. And then finally here's another ace. This one goes for Allison Getty. It was a great match, but it was not enough as the Timberwolves fell in 5 hard-fought sets to Hillsdale. Northwood had 75 kills, which is the 5th most among all schools of the Division II level this season. Taylor Pritchett's 66 assists were the 3rd most for anyone in Division II at that point. Allison Getty had 25 kills. Krista Kramer with 19 kills. The next day, Northwood played another strong opponent in Findlay, and the Oilers picked up a 3-1 win over Northwood. Timberwolves just could not match their energy level from the day before. Getty had 10 kills. Megan Cleary came off the bench to have 9, and Björta Bjornsdotter had 22 digs to lead all players in the match. That Friday night match against Hillsdale was one of the very best we've seen around here in a long time, an extremely high level of play. Unfortunately for Northwood, the Timberwolves just came up a little bit short, but hopefully that's something that Northwood can build on for the rest of the season. Northwood will head south this weekend for 2 road matches at Lake Erie and at Ashland. Good luck to the Timberwolves. Lots of other teams also played on the road this weekend. Let's check out how all the other Northwood teams did in the last 7 days. It was a good weekend for the Northwood women's soccer team as the team played a couple of games in Ohio. On Friday, the Timberwolves lost a hard-fought 2-1 contest to undefeated Ashland. Jessica Flores scored her team-leading 4th goal of the season in the loss. Both teams finished the game with 8 shots. Then on Sunday, Northwood responded with a solid 2-0 win at Lake Erie. Allison Carroll and Sarah Lamphere both had their first goals of the season in the win. Northwood with a big advantage in corner kicks 11-4 over the Storm. Men's golf team for the 2nd straight week made a big comeback in the 2nd round to place 7th at the important D2 regional tournament in Chicago. 32 teams competed in the event, so Northwood with a big leg up on many of their most important rivals in the region. The Timberwolves shot .296 on day 1. That put them 14th overall, but under difficult conditions in day 2, Northwood's .314 was the 3rd best score of the day and allowed Northwood to move from 14th to 7th overall. Corey Roberts leading the way. He ties for 14th out of over 150 players with a 150 total. Women's golf team placed 6th at Grand Valley State. Northwood shot team scores of .332 and .325 to finish at .657 overall. Marlies Kleckner-Alt, once again the top finisher for the Timberwolves in the event. She finished 17th overall. Northwood's lone action in women's tennis last week was at the ITA Regional, hosted by Indianapolis. Top result belonged to Northwood's number 6 singles player, Tetiana Pavic. She reached the quarterfinals of the event. She defeated the 11th seed and number 1 singles player from Grand Valley State, Abby Perkins. That match was in the round of 16. Northwood's Carol Arnaz Mercado also won 2 matches before falling to the top seed in the event. That's 2 weeks in a row for the men's golf team to make big comebacks in the final round. Northwood moved up 5 spots at the GLIAC North Invitational the week before, and then 7 spots at the NCAA Regional. So those are good results for Dave Turner's team heading forward. Busy weekend as always coming up. It's homecoming here at Northwood, so auto shows going on. Let's see what's going on campus and throughout the league this weekend for the Timberwolves. The weekend events get underway Friday at 2 o'clock as the women's soccer team will host Ferris State. Later that night, the volleyball team hits the road once again to play at Lake Erie. That's a 7 o'clock first serve. Also at 7 o'clock, the men's soccer team will play their first road game of the season. That's against Ohio Dominican. On Saturday, October 3rd, the golf team will be in competition at the Ashland Invitational. That will run into Sunday. Also on Saturday, the women's tennis team will travel to Walsh for a 10 a.m. start. Football team will host their annual homecoming game Saturday at 1 o'clock against Walsh at Hant Stadium. Then later Saturday afternoon, the volleyball team will play at Ashland. That's a 2 o'clock start. On Sunday at noon, the women's tennis team plays at Ashland. And then the men's soccer team will round up their Ohio trip with a game at Lake Erie at 1 o'clock. And then Sunday at 1 o'clock also, the women's soccer team will play at defending national champion Grand Valley State. So after a busy week full of events last weekend at home, this week there's only 2 home events, the Friday soccer match against Ferris State for the women's team and the football game on Saturday against Walsh. But still lots to do on campus, obviously, with the auto show. Come on out. Just a reminder, make sure you make it out early. Lots of traffic on campus. Can be a little tricky to get around, so we encourage all fans to arrive to the games early because of the auto show. This week, our athletes of the week come from the football and the women's soccer team. The football player earned a career high in passing yards in the win against Wayne State on Saturday. And from the women's soccer team, the leading goal scorer came up with a big goal against Ashland and then played well against Lake Erie. Let's check out our athletes of the week. Our men's athlete of the week is Mark Morris, the quarterback from the Northwood football team. He passed for a career-high 337 yards and a pair of touchdowns in the football team's 31-13 win over Wayne State. Morris had touchdown passes that covered 82 and 43 yards in the game. He went 17 of 24 overall passing. He has gone 88 passes since his last interception while tossing 5 touchdowns in that stretch. Morris also moved into 4th place on the Northwood career passing list in that game. Our women's athlete of the week is Jessica Flores from the women's soccer team. She scored Northwood's lone goal in Northwood's loss at Ashland. Ashland was undefeated on this season and is receiving votes in the national rankings. Northwood's 2-2 on the year. Flores leads the team in scoring. She has 4 goals on 15 shots on the season and was a key part of Northwood's 2-0 win at Lake Erie on Sunday. Congrats to Jessica and to Mark, both well-deserving of that honor. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Timberwolves Weekly. Pretty soon we'll be coming to you from inside the renovated Bennett Center. The project's getting really close to being done. So soon we'll be able to give you a tour of the brand new facilities. They are looking spectacular. Make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. And make sure you check out all of our videos on YouTube. I'm Travis McCurdy signing off. Keep fighting. Go Mad.